and death.
Hey, don't I know you?
If it goes out, it means the death of millions of people, everyone watching. Don't you understand that? Well, say it's a bomb, then say whatever you want, say whatever you like, just get it off the air. Please, No, I can't prove it. You've got to believe me. Take it off the air now, please. You've got to. It makes sense.
Again, excuse the interruption. We're having technical problems. Please stand by.
It's time.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Dark masks, gather round your TV set. Put on your masks and watch. All witches, all skeletons, all jack-o'-lanterns.
The third commercial, it's still on, please. Take off the third channel, it's still running. Stop it, please, for God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to, please, stop it now. Turn it off. Stop it.
Yeah, here we go. 1982 classic Halloween 3. Let's get at it. Hey guys, before we get started tonight, we have a big announcement. We are excited to announce our partnership with Dubby Energy Drinks. These drinks are perfect for gym sessions, those late night movie sessions, video game sessions, or whatever you might be doing in the middle of the night, or even in the day. So if you need a quick pick-me-up, grab you a Dubby and get cracking. Don't forget to use code REMEMBERTHAT for 10% off your entire purchase. And if you guys want to reach out and contact us with a, show idea or something like that, email us at rememberthatpodcast@yahoo.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because it helps us grow and helps us continue to do this thing we love to do. So having said that, let's get into the show.
Yo, we rolling deep, let's dive into the fright. Hit that play button, we review every bite. From horror flicks that give you chills at night to games that thrill, yeah, we get it right. Remember that, step back, hold tight. We'll dissect every scare, keep the vibe right. Remember that, we're here to expose the thrills, the chills where the dark wind blows. From pixels on screens to the sound that glows. Join us forever, that's how the story goes.
Halloween 3 is a 1982 American science fiction horror film written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace in his feature-length directorial debut. It is the third installment of the Halloween film franchise and the only entry that does not feature the series antagonist Michael Myers. Now, before we get started, I want to introduce everybody to our guest tonight. His name is Chris Goins, and he is from the Nevermore Hollows podcast. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Well,
Doing
as
good.
long as everything keeps working like it is now, it'll be a lot better than it was about 5 minutes ago. So, hey, but we'll work through it. But we're glad to have you on, man. And sorry Alan couldn't make it, man. But, we'll have a good time tonight. We appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Alan's weird, so,
Yeah. But Alan, you want to tell us a little bit about Nevermore Hollows, or Alan, Chris, you want to tell us something about Nevermore Hollows? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a story-driven podcast about a creepy little town in Georgia. The way I put it, it's like if Mayberry and the Twilight Zone had a baby.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Oh, yeah. We've got trailer park witches and serial killers that hang out behind the Waffle Hut, and demon-possessed capuchin monkeys.
Dang.
And just all kinds of craziness.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, man. It's the way we put it, it's the town you'll never leave.
I guarantee that.
But it's fun. I get to do a lot of cool voices, and I get to do all the monsters, which is fun. Um, and several other voices. We've just got a young lady who has started doing a couple of the female voices, and she is absolutely awesome. She did an episode for our Patreon members, and man, she killed it. She just took it and ran with it, and is me and Alan and our buddy John, who is our late night DJ, and we all were just sitting there staring at the camera, listening to this little girl just take off on a character. It was awesome.
That's one of the
She's
questions I
great.
was going to ask you, Chris. How do you guys do that? Do you guys get together like we are now, or do you guys meet up in person or
Yeah.
something like that?
No, we get together like this, and there's a whole lot of outtakes that the people keep saying we want to see the outtakes, and no, you don't, because there'd be a whole lot of bleeping.
Right.
Or John giggling because I do a voice for one of the guys who owns the local funeral home, Otto Lamentation, and I do both Otto and his brother Lazarus, and we keep alluding that Otto, they're supposed to be twins, but Lazarus is like 6'7" and Otto's like 5'2", and so we keep alluding that Otto actually made his brother.
Dang.
But I do the voice of Otto, and every time I do it, John can't keep from giggling. So we have to wait till John gets well, and we have to wait until John gets done laughing. Or if I screw something up, then I'm going to screw it up about 15 times before I get it right. But yeah, give it a listen. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, wherever. And tell us what you think. If you don't like it, tell us that you don't like it, and tell us why. Because we like constructive criticism. And but I'm working on a T-shirt design for one of our fake products that we made up. Right now, we're going to start getting those out, and hopefully we can see people walking around wearing our T-shirts, which is cool.
Most definitely, man.
I tell you what, Chris, I want to go ahead and throw a shout out to Chris and Nevermore Hollows, because I've listened to several episodes up to this point. I don't know that I'm 25% through everything, because you have a lot of material.
Yeah.
But your stories are great. I love your stories. And let me tell you, Nevermore Hollows t-shirt, I would totally wear one. I would totally wear one of the diner. You give me the diner on a t-shirt, I'm going to wear it, buddy. I respect what you guys are doing. They're good stories. They're with as comedic as they can be. They are very character driven, and I am well pleased every time that I listen to you guys. So kudos to you.
Well, now if you like comedic stuff, which I like horror movies that don't take themselves seriously and throw some comedy in there. Hopefully soon, I came up with this idea. But hopefully soon, Alan will write it, and it's going to have demonic chickens.
Man, that sounds right up my alley, man.
Buddy, can't wait for that. That sounds just like Alan, and I can't wait for that. That's funny.
Sounds like Inglewood.
Hey, right?
Sounds like East Tennessee. That's what I'm saying.
My neighbor.
At this point, I've listened to 2 stories with the demonic capuchin monkey, and it's great. It's great.
Yeah, now he's my favorite. Psycho Juju, that dude.
Demonic, yes.
Yeah,
you know what, guys? Maybe that's something we could do for our Patreon, is we could break down episodes of Nevermore Hollows for people. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
I'm all about it.
I'm the guy. I want action figures. I want plushies. I want to see a little kid walking around with a plushie of Psycho Juju. That to me would be the best thing ever.
Psycho Juju's going to be y'all's moneymaker. That's for sure.
I would totally have the boo hag.
Yeah, the boo hag. I forgot about the boo hag.
That's right.
I did the voice of the second episode of the boo hag.
Okay,
that was fun. That was
Well,
fun.
I tell you what, not to get too far off of what we're doing here tonight, but how much distortion do you guys use on the voices and whatnot whenever you're doing audio?
Well, now most of the time we only have to. I can go pretty deep with my voice, and most of the time we only have to detune it just a tad.
Okay, man,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah. Well, since I've had all this sinus stuff, I told Alan we're going to have to take advantage of it. My voice can get a whole lot deeper.
Well,
That's
I can
cool
tell you
stuff,
what,
man.
I can concur with everything that Chris and Daniel has said. You know, I'll get at work and I'll start binging these stories, and they take you to another world. Nevermore Hollows is one of the most unique podcasts out there, man, and I highly recommend it to anybody out there.
Thank you.
So
I really appreciate it. We truly, truly do. Alan he writes all of them, and you know, we did a breakdown of our latest episode, and we came up with another concept to happen inside the town. Who cleans up all the messes that happen? And then I said, well, it's the road department. So the Nevermore Hollows road department, think about it. Cleaning up roadkill in Nevermore Hollows could be a very dangerous.
Yeah, those guys better be making higher than minimum wage,
That's right.
And they've
That's
got
right.
access to very destructive weapons. So
Lord have mercy. Well, man, like I said, anybody's looking for something unique and different to listen to, check out Nevermore Hollows, man, anywhere you can get your podcast. But shoot, let's get into this 1982 cinema gold classic here of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, man. Daniel, let's get started, man.
All right. So this movie had a budget of $4.6 million, and it made at the box office $1.4 million. So just to put that into perspective, that was the fourth largest grossing horror movie of that year, 1982. Number one was Poltergeist. Number two was Friday the 13th, Part 3. And number 3 was Creepshow. They all released in 1982, and they all did significantly better at the box office than Halloween Part 3.
Well,
and I want to throw a tidbit in there. I want to throw a tidbit in there. Tom Atkins, which is who Cade is about to introduce, our main character. He was in Creepshow. So he had 2 of his movies. He had a big year. He had 2 of his movies going head to head at one point.
Well, I think Creepshow won that race, if that's just my opinion.
It did. It did.
I think so too.
Okay. Cade, how about the cast, man? Run it down for us.
Yeah, we've already mentioned the man himself, and I was worried that there'd be a hole in my heart not hearing somebody talk about how many times they shot Michael Myers in this film. Tom Atkins, he plays a huge role in this movie as Dr. Chalice, as we'll talk about later on in the film, with how good of a dad he is. And, he's always taking the opportunity to have a nice cold beverage.
He really is.
Something he's known for. He's going to do it. So we have him as our main guy in this movie. We're also followed by Ellie Grimbridge. She's played by Stacey Nelkin. And then the man himself, who's doing all the wheeling and dealing for Silver Shamrock, is Mr. Cochran, played by Dan O'Harely. And that was pretty much the main cast member, probably most notably worth mentioning in this movie.
Sweet, man.
And just a quick shout out, if anybody out there is a fan of the show Twin Peaks. I was rewatching this movie last night and I saw Cochran. I'm like, I know this dude. I had to look it up. He plays Andrew Packard, which is Josie's husband on Twin Peaks. So I had to give that a shout out. That's one of my favorite shows.
Well, that's awesome.
Twin Peaks is a great show.
I love Twin Peaks. I watched that all the time when I was younger. That's a good show, man. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what's our main Dr. Chalice? Is that his name?
That's the
Dr.
man.
Chalice.
This guy is Father of the Year, Womanizer of the Year.
Wallach of the year.
Yeah, he's just the 1980s man's man. But Daniel, start off with that first scene and let's get this thing going.
All right. The first scene, this is the thing about this movie, okay? So it's got the date at the bottom, okay? But it takes it a step further from what Halloween and Halloween 2 took it. So Halloween and Halloween 2 took the date. This actually gives you the day of the week, okay? So first off, you've got this desolate looking setting. You've got this overpass, no traffic, nothing. And you've got this old man that runs out of the darkness, okay? And he's holding this mask. And he runs at first, he's running from somebody. You definitely can tell that. And at first he runs into a junkyard. And then all of a sudden you see these Michael Myers type people, okay?
Yeah.
That is kind of pursuing him, okay? And I love this because Dick Warlock actually plays one of the people that are trying to get him, and Dick Warlock played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. Yep.
I didn't know
An
that.
epic name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Dick Warlock fan. If anybody has Chris and Corky, you've probably seen Spaceballs. Bryson, you've probably seen Spaceballs. Dick Warlock is actually on that one. He's the one that actually shows Bill Pullman how to do the Vulcan neck pinch. Because Bill Pullman comes up and he does the Vulcan neck pinch, and Dick Warlock turns around and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm trying to do the Vulcan neck pinch." And he goes, "No, you're way too high. What you need to do is do it here." And he goes, "Like this?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." He does great comedy too. But point is, Dick Warlock is one of these people that is pursuing this old man that's running with this mask. He runs into the junkyard, and he's actually attacked by one of the things pursuing him. Gets him down on the ground. He's about to choke him out, and he actually pulls a chain. And it takes away the cinder block, I guess, that's holding the car back, and the car kind of rolls over and crushes the person trying to kill him, and then he runs off through the junkyard, winds up at a gas station, and at this point it says an hour later. It doesn't ever give the time; it just says an hour later. He's still got the mask. Runs into the gas station, faints, basically just passes out from just exhaustion, and is taken to a hospital. And the hospital is very reminiscent to Halloween 2, and that's why I really, really like this scene.
I thought the same thing.
You got this robotic kind of pursuer that goes in. He's not wearing a mask, but he's pretty much like Michael Myers. Tracks him down to the hospital room that he's in and kills him. And the way that he kills him is he actually rips out. He pushes his finger and his thumb into his eye sockets, and then closes, almost like a robotic clamp. Pulls up and breaks the bridge of his nose. And I thought that was a really cool kill. But then you've already kind of sort of been introduced to Dr. Chalice, but at this point, Dr. Chalice chases this Michael Myers type person back outside, and the guy ends up, of course, committing suicide for obvious reasons, which we will find out as we get further into the show. So, man, the opening I thought was great. Brent, Cade, Bryson, what do you guys think?
Well, let me ask everybody something before they get started. Why, and Chris, feel free to jump in here, buddy. Why would an android have to commit suicide? Because why would he care if he got caught or if they done something to him?
I know
get
the
rid of the
answer to that,
evidence.
but I'm
Well,
gonna let
please
the other
do
guys.
tell somebody.
I'm gonna let the other guys, have it. But I know what I think is right. But you go ahead, Cade, Brent, Bryson, Chris, even chime in.
Yeah, I think that Mr. Cochran was probably sending that robot in there. Obviously, our guy here found out some information he wasn't supposed to find out related to Silver Shamrock, and that android, he probably figured the android would get caught in this very populated area, the police or something. And so they probably had it programmed to commit suicide in order to remove all evidence related to Silver Shamrock, or any kind of weird situation. So I'm guessing they did it because of that. If I had to take my opinion on it,
Kind of destroy the evidence. That makes sense.
Right.
yeah,
Well, and that's the only way you could get that massive explosion, you know, and
Exactly.
because, us older guys know that gas in the 80s was more potent than,
apparently,
Yeah.
than now. So,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
that must have been nuclear. You know what I mean?
some radioactive
Well,
stuff,
don't
man.
get too far along. There was something I wanted to mention about that first scene that we haven't brought up yet. So in that first scene, when he's in the junkyard, remember the attendant. This is the first time that you hear that famous jingle, the 12 more days to Halloween. And
Yeah.
That's the gas station. He made it to the gas
that's
station.
right. So in that commercial, it shows all the masks that Silver Shamrock produces, and it shows the three that we know will probably be a trivia question. But
Yeah.
the skeleton, the pumpkin, and the witch. But at the very end, like it pans off at the very end for like a split second, it's showing a Michael Myers mask dancing
oh, yeah.
around.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
What?
Yes.
What? No. What?
Hold on. You didn't know that?
I didn't
Wait a
see
Yes.
minute.
that.
What?
As they're panning through, it was the factory, right, Brent?
it may show it in the factory
It-
too, but this is in the commercial. In that first commercial that you see,
That's
it's
the
panning through.
skull. That's the skull
No.
mask.
No. Listen,
No.
when they're at the factory and they're giving the tour of the factory with those people from the RV and Dr. Chalice and that chick in the
Buddy
back,
and all,
in the
and his
back where they're
family.
making the mask, you see a Michael Myers mask. It's for a split second, but you can see it in the back. Now, here's my theory. What if these guys are making masks, and that clown mask he put on back in the day was a Silver Shamrock clown mask. Since we
Well, that's what
know now
Yeah.
that they make the
Yeah.
Myers mask, so
Well, what
maybe
I was
this is
gonna
where all
say-
this is coming from.
So that's a theory. But what I was going to say, Corky, is I remember you asking last episode, you said, who is making these Michael Myers masks?
Exactly.
Are they making it because of the serial killer or vice versa? Well, we know now Silver Shamrock was just making these masks.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, and we know that Silver Shamrock is a corrupt company and all this stuff. But I just thought that was a fun bit of trivia knowledge that Silver Shamrock Novelties makes the Michael Myers mask.
And
So
that's
I'm sorry. Did the guy in the leisure suit who was the dad at the factory, didn't he mention because the doctor was asking who is it, who is this guy? He goes, "Oh yeah, he made this," and he mentioned all these other masks.
yeah.
But
He mentioned a lot of other gags that he had come
Yeah.
up with. He mentioned a couple of famous jokes.
The rubber
That-
Is that a-
chainsaw.
Is that a
Corinne had come
trivia
up with.
question?
Sticky
But
toilet paper.
it's confirmed they did make the White Myers mask, and I'm thinking if they made the White Myers mask, who's to say they didn't make a clown mask earlier on too? So maybe,
All right.
obviously they didn't, but this could have been a storyline they could have went with. Go ahead, Chris.
But wouldn't that be a cool storyline though? Is the one
Absolutely, it would.
if
yeah,
you
I mean that's
the Michael Myers mask, the kids that put that on, that's the ones that it affects, and
Yeah.
it turns them into killers.
Oh,
One
and
hundred percent.
and And that's why when Michael Myers is in the mental asylum and he doesn't have his mask, he's more or less fine. But then as soon as he gets his mask, he goes on to into rampage. He's not even, he turns into almost like a robotic figure like we see from these movies.
Guys, we just figured it out, man.
That's what I do whenever I put on a Halloween mask. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
And also, last thing, I didn't want to leave this out either, since I thought it was one of the coolest scenes in the movie. But like Dad said, we see the suit guy run into his car, and this is right after we've seen him rip a guy's eyeballs out of his skull, which is crazy. And immediately jumps in his car, pours gasoline on himself, and lights himself on fire. And that's how you know, even though this movie doesn't have Michael Myers in it, I mean, it's just as violent. And so give this movie a lot of credit. That was a hardcore opening scene. So I really enjoyed that. So,
Yeah.
That opening scene is just hits everything.
Yeah. And,
To draw you in as a viewer, you know.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they use a semi-deserted hospital, because there's just something that's what makes Halloween 2 my favorite movie in the franchise is the deserted hospital. Everything's dark. Now in this one they had power, so everything was better lit. But in Halloween 2, that's what made the movie for me, was they still created the isolation for Laurie Strode in this deserted hospital. And with the darkened halls, and after Michael had started to kill off all of the staff of the hospital, he was open more freely to walk through the halls and everything, and they had some really, really cool shots of that. And man, I tell you what, that just made the movie for me. So as I'm watching Halloween 3 and I'm seeing this kind of semi-desolate hospital, not a whole lot of activity going on, it's kind of late at night, it reminds me of Halloween 2, and I love it even more.
Absolutely. So after this guy, gets killed and the dude blows himself up, in come Dr. Chalice, because now he's going to start playing detective, which makes no sense. Most doctors would sign off on the dead body and go on about their business. This guy seems to take it personal, and I don't know why, but, he starts trying to play detective.
It's because he met Ellie.
Well, so then Ellie...
When he met Ellie, and then there's a scene where he said, I've been at this hospital for 8 years, and I've never seen anything like this. So I don't even know if it's just how curious he is about it. This man's nose just got ripped out of his face, and then he watched a man light himself on fire. Like, I think one, there's a hot chick involved.
You know the truth.
Two,
you know the truth. It's because he thought that she was hot. So
Hey,
he's like,
I think he's just trying to dodge his kids, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, and his ex-wife. His ex-wife looked like a handful.
Yeah.
Well, you know who his ex-wife was, don't you?
Annie Burkett.
Annie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, didn't cut you off, Bronson. What all were you saying?
No, that was basically it.
Yeah. Well, we know the real reason. He could have been curious, but he thought she was hot. So he's going to do whatever he can do to find out what this Silver Shamrock is what's happening with Silver Shamrock.
Yeah. I know what he wants to do with Silver Shamrock.
Yeah.
That man accepted the main quest lines. Get asked that girl, how old are you?
Yeah, after he done banged her 3 times, it's a little bit late to be asking that,
He said, wait a second,
right?
Yeah. I was like,
hey,
dude.
What a POS, man. He's a POS.
Hey, we're going to get into that scene here. Me and Kate are going to have a nice conversation here in just a little bit about that scene.
Peter is on.
Hey, well, with how much Cade's been hopping up the doctor, the one butt you see in this movie is his. So I bet Cade's butt meter was way high.
Well,
Yeah.
we may think up another meter here in a little bit. So Ellie shows up at the hospital. She asked Dr. Chalice, she said, did he say anything? And what did he say to her? He said he loves you or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
"Tell Ellie I love her." And she's
Tell
like,
my daughter I
"BS."
love her.
Yeah, and
So
one thing
connect
the
me.
guy
How do we get from she walks up, meets him, and then boom, they're going to this
And then
toy
15 minutes
factory?
later, they're
Well,
having sex.
So how did
That's
we
all
get
right.
from there to there?
So hold up.
Powers in the mustache.
Because it's been a progression, right? So he's standing by the window the day after dude was killed. So he's in the room with them. But why the dead body is still there at 9:00 in the morning when dude was killed at 9:00 at night is beyond me. But he's standing there beside the window looking out into the parking lot. She comes in. So immediately his radar is going off, right? Because he's
Right.
just a perv. So then he goes through the hall. He goes through the hallway. He sees her standing at the end of the hall, and she's just kind of whatever. And so they do like the, "Hey, how's it going?" Whatever. Okay, so that's twice, right?
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, he's actually in the bar. He's having a drink like the good doctor should. Okay, because
Like
that's
he's
just the kind of
always
guy.
having a drink. Let's just be
Yeah,
straight about it.
exactly. That's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's like, what was my dad's last words? And he was like, "Tell Ellie I love her." Like, whatever. And then she calls BS on him.
Yeah.
And so then that brings her up to the point to where she's just like, something's not right about this. I think that there's some foul play. I'm gonna go, figure this out. And so Dr. Chalice, being the dad of the year that he is,
Yeah.
already kind of on the outs with his ex-wife, Annie Loomis, brought the kids these bullcrap 50-cent, plastic masks that the kids don't even want, right? And so the
God,
kids are like,
right.
my mama done got me, silver shamrock,
Yeah.
crap on your plastic mask. He calls her up and he's like, "Hey, I just got I just got told that I have to go to this doctor conference this weekend,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be late picking the kids up, so that's what happens.
He played.
That's what happens. And then she's like, I think what they did was her dad owned a hardware store. And so they ended up going to that hardware store and they found some of his log books to where he needed to go pick up more silver shamrock masks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was the last thing that he was doing, was going to Santa Mira. So she was like, that's the last place that he went. That's where we need to go. And so the Dr. Chalice, he's just like tagging along because she's hot, right?
Yeah, he goes and
just
gets
like,
some
"Yeah."
beers and
hesitate.
jumps in the car and makes her drive him there, because he's drinking the whole way.
He's already 4 years in by the time she pulls out onto the interstate.
Yeah.
So, they show up in Santa Mira. It doesn't really say how long they drove. It alludes to it being, a few hours away. But they show up at the not Italian, the Irish Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Irish. And dude is like, where's the package store? I've got to go get me some more alcohol,
Because I just ran out.
That's right. That's the first thing he's doing is going to the liquor store. And the small town happened to have one. So, whatever.
And this town is just so unsettling with how everybody's talking about Cochran. Like, that's almost the only thing you hear people talking about is
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
And then you've got cameras everywhere. He's going to go get some liquor, runs into this homeless guy, and he has nothing good to say about Cochran. And he is
That's
just
right.
yelling it, letting it be known. And so when he gets back to the hotel, that's when those suited guys come up and kind of let a homeless dude know they don't like him talking bad about Cochran.
That's
But
right.
you know, you had the whole 6 o'clock curfew going on. It's just a really creepy setting,
And
even
the
though
thing
everything
is,
looks pleasant.
exactly. And the thing about that is that he asked him. He was like, "Have you seen the cameras yet? You might not be seeing him, but you know, he knows who you are. He's watching you, you know."
Mm.
So dude knew that he was on camera. So
Yeah.
why he was going on about how, you know, he's going to go burn
Yeah.
down the factory,
Yeah.
you know,
This the
that's
last
just
time the
dumb.
factory's gonna be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it seemed
The
like he had
last
been
Halloween
drinking
they're ever gonna
before,
have.
because after they have their encounter.
Yeah. Did you see when they, you know, that as the camera panned by the television, they were talking about somebody stole one of the stones at
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Stonehenge,
yeah,
you know, and I'm
yeah.
going, they stole it?
So
You
so
know,
I saw a
nobody
review.
knows where it went.
I
Yeah.
saw a review. This was like one of the movie reviews back in 1982, and this was from one of the reviews that hated the movie, and it said, "When the premise of your movie revolves around a 2-ton rock being stolen from Stonehenge and shipped across the Atlantic Ocean without anyone finding out who did it,
Yeah.
then it's
Well,
probably not a
And you
good
know,
movie."
in
all they
Cochrane, he's like, you wouldn't believe what it took to get that
yeah.
here, and it just winks at him like that's his only
And
thing
they
to say
left it
about
at that. They didn't explain anything. They were just like, "Yeah, we had
No.
some trouble getting it here," and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UPS
But
driver, you know, that had to pull up with that, you know, 40-ton
yeah,
kids in the
Yeah.
back.
but besides the whole stealing a rock from Stonehenge part, talking about the town, I do agree. The way they set up the town, really creepy, really cool, really effective, and the way they set up Cochrane, really cool. Like you don't even see Cochrane until I guess that's when the lady gets her face blown off. It's the
Yeah.
first time you see Cochrane.
Well, he
You
drives
see,
by. He
whenever
drives by.
that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. When he
yeah, he's
drops by,
creeping by.
when he drives by, he's creeping by, everyone stops what they're doing and just stare. It's like he's a cult leader, and they're like, "Well, there he is now. That's old Cochrane. He's a great man, a great man.
Yeah.
It changes the world." Like that's just that was really really cool how they do that.
Yeah.
So
He was
it
playing
makes
like a
you
dictator
wonder.
role.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of people in this town.
No.
So it makes you wonder if, you know, we find out later that the suited guys are not real people, they're androids.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if all the other citizens in this town are just androids and this whole town's just fake. Like there's
And
nobody even real
he
there.
programmed them all to say how great Cochrane is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're all just saying how great he is and like none of them are even real.
Yeah, that's
That'd
I
be
didn't even,
cool.
Yeah,
and I know we're gonna.
they were probably so impressed by the fact he was able to haul the Stonehenge in there all in one piece, and they were just like,
Well,
"We're gonna follow this guy."
here's
Or
what
that
I'm
he
thinking.
invented sticky toilet paper.
Let's say we're all sitting in the writers' room and we're like, "All right, man, we're going to come up with a script for Halloween 3." And they're like, "But we need a power. Something's got to power this stuff. What's anybody's idea?" And who is
My
the
first
guy
thing,
that's like,
Stonehenge.
"Let's have them steal a stone from Stonehenge
Yeah.
and take it over there"? What
I
kind
mean,
of
it's definitely
mushrooms is this
creative.
guy eating? You know,
I ain't never heard it before.
Yeah, I
it
think it's
is
creative.
unique, but
Yeah.
it's also stupid.
What?
Stonehenge robots.
You know,
Nobody knows how
look,
that stuff got there, anyways. So they're like, "This stuff's got to be
Everyone slow
mysterious."
claps. They're like,
look.
"Yeah, definitely."
I'll tell you, Brent and I have actually been to Stonehenge for real. Okay. It is a very historical landmark, like tons of history. It's very interesting. Okay. It is also very roped off and very guarded.
Yeah, I heard it's like
there's
right
people
off the
there.
interstate. Like you'll pass it, wouldn't even notice
It's
if you weren't looking for it.
yeah, it's a
No, it's
highway.
out in the middle. It's in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
in
It's a
England.
highway. There's a highway that goes up by it. It is out in the middle of nowhere, but there's like tons of people there all the time. There, you know, the Stonehenge
you-
that Colonel Cochrane got from this movie was the same Stonehenge that Clark Griswold backed into and knocked everything over.
Yeah.
That's the Stonehenge that they got.
Maybe Griswold was in on it. That started
Well,
getting it over to Cochran.
Chris,
that's really
Chris,
funny.
you remember the Griswolds and from part 2, European Vacation, they backed into it and it knocked everything over about like dominoes. That is the Stonehenge that Connell Cochran got.
They got
Well,
it from the prop guys for Spinal Tap.
Oh God, yeah.
Lead bass.
All right, guys, we could talk about Cochran all day long, man. But we're at the hotel now. So Chalice goes in there and just like looks over the log books, finds I guess he found her dad's name on there, right? So we know he stayed here. Throws $40 down and goes over there and goes, didn't know what room he was in or whatever. Just throws $40 down. So he goes in there and they're sitting there and he's like, I guess I'll go sleep in the car. It'd be a lot better than sleeping on the floor. And I'm like, here we go. Let's don't even, beat around the bush here. And she looks at him. Now, keep in mind, they've known each other for a day max, right? Maybe just
max.
So you don't like how smooth he was? He didn't like how smooth. He says, "Hey, I'd be happy sleeping in the floor, sleeping in." Oh wait, you don't mind if I sleep with you?
And she and her line to him was like, "Well, that's silly. Where do you want to sleep?" And he's like, "Well, that's a dumb question." And then they start banging, man.
Yeah,
that is 100.
He's got, like I said, he's got the mustache that is the power mustache. And he's got the flat, his only shoulder padded jacket. And the dude is just nothing but just suave as far
machismo.
as
Yeah.
Man.
So
and
choice.
Yeah, no, she didn't. So, Kate, I want to ask you this though, buddy. So, we know you got your glorious butt meter, right? But this chick, and I know this guy was 47 years old when this movie was filmed. I'm 47 now myself.
Really?
He was 47 years old. Now, she, and this is their true ages, she was 24 years old when this movie was filmed.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed this dude was legit sucking on her breast at one point in the movie. So, Kate, what are your thoughts on the breast sucking scene?
This guy. First of all, this guy makes a comment about how he's been wearing.
He took notes on this scene.
He's been wearing those clothes for like a day, and he's like, I could probably go one more day of wearing these clothes. And apparently, that's not a red flag for this chick because she's all about them.
No,
you could tell from the moment he even mentioned. Yeah, you could tell even from the moment he mentioned sleeping in the car. She's like, no,
she wasn't having it, man.
And so
she gonna sleep.
One other thing that's kind of interesting about this too is, she traveled to go see her dying father, but before she left, now like from some other part of California, I don't know what part she's from, but she packed some lingerie in her luggage to go up to see her dad.
I mean, just in case.
That's what I was texting or something. Today. I guess I probably sent it to the group text, but I was like, okay, chick. She's going on an investigation.
Yeah, she just found
out her dad was murdered, and she's going on this investigation with this doctor, and she thinks to pack lingerie.
Yeah,
you serious?
Or honestly,
she thought about packing lingerie as soon as she saw that mustache.
Let me
the lingerie packed itself, baby. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you read
between the lines, into her bag as soon as she saw the mustache.
If you read between the lines, Dr. Chalice goes, "Well, I don't have fresh underwear, but
Yeah, that's what he said. He straight up said he had like duty stained underwear, basically.
Come on.
Like, here's the thing though. This is what I'm thinking. So after she shows up to the hospital and finds her dad, essentially a week passes by, all right? So by this point in time, Ellie would have had time to go to Victoria's Secret. She's already seen the mustache. She's like, listen, he's dead. I'm capitalizing on this doctor. He's single. He's hip. She wants all of it. So she does what she has to do. And then, obviously he decides to start sucking on some nipples. But yeah, that was legit.
It wasn't fake either. It was really going down like that. And he was twice her age. That's the point I was trying to make there. That really went down,
I guarantee you what they
that.
did is they asked that actor, they're like, listen, Tom, are you comfortable? Like Tom was like, they're like, Tom, are you comfortable with doing this? Like, we can add like a prosthetic. He's like, nah. Are you serious? Like, no, we're doing this legit.
We do
I just
this.
want to know if somebody was like, Tom, what are you doing, man? You can't really do that. He's like,
and
oh, my bad.
He was early for work that day. He
Yeah,
knew
he
they
did.
He was
Oh,
there.
sorry, I'm a character actor. I
And you're
just get
telling me,
into
like-
character.
like the fact that they had to go to Santa Mira, which was like this Irish town, right? This guy's an alcoholic, so you already know there's going to be like a pub over there. Like this guy is in the wrong area.
100%.
Like he's screwed, dude.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
It might close at 6, but they've got a liquor store. So he's
yeah.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude.
All right. So we've made it to the nipple scene or the breast sucking scene. Now let's
10
break
out
it.
of 10.
You
Butt
know,
meter.
yeah. You may have to have a milking meter. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Meter.
So I think this is a good way to segue into trivia. Daniel, kick it off, man.
All right, man. You want to do trivia now? We'll go ahead and kick that off.
Let me my spreadsheet.
So
going.
I've got several
Chris on here.
trivia questions. So, Cade, you've added Chris to the
yes, he's in the spreadsheet.
So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into this.
And Chris, you just say your name if you want to answer.
That's right. How well did you guys watch this movie? Okay,
I'm about to ace this test.
Hey, I'm winning this week.
We'll see.
So, what popular Halloween icons were the three masks in the commercial?
Chris.
I heard Brent first.
Skeleton, pumpkin, witch.
Wrong.
There you go.
It was a jack-o'-lantern, not a pumpkin.
Yeah, okay. Brent with the point. Okay.
I wouldn't give it to
question
him.
number 2. Question number 2. What person from the original Halloween makes an appearance as Dr.
Corky.
Chalice's wife? Corky,
Bryson.
go.
Annie.
Annie is correct. Played by Nancy Loomis. So now we're 1-1. Here we go. Number 3. What gave the chips in the masks their magical power?
Bryson.
Hey.
Bryson.
A piece of Stonehenge.
Piece of Stonehenge is correct. Everybody getting on the board tonight.
It's that powerful rock, baby.
Man, I must have not done my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't nobody answer
answering
none of my trivia. Okay. So now let's see how well you remember. Which mask did Harry Grimbridge steal from the factory at the beginning of the movie?
Hey.
Bryson.
I heard Brent first and then Bryson. So if Brent gets it wrong,
I heard Chris.
Chris.
Chris?
But I do know the
Okay,
answer to
it's Chris then. It's Chris. My bad, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
It's a jack-o'-lantern.
It is the jack-o'-lantern mask.
Ding, ding, ding.
So we're 1-1 to Brent with big fat nothing. I think Cade's at a goose egg.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
0. Brent's got a
Well,
point.
I just want everyone to know that he tried screwing me over again.
Okay.
He tried screwing me over again.
I got a Daniel question, so y'all better be ready for this. Ready? Okay.
All right.
What room number was Harry
Bryson,
Grimbridge
Corky.
killed in? Bryson.
Okay.
Bryson.
Oh, wait, was Harry Grimbridge in?
Yeah.
Oh,
In the
trick
hospital.
question.
I know what date he got there, but I don't remember his room number.
No, sorry. Corky went
I got it.
second.
Nah, Corky thought you was going to ask the hotel room number. My bad.
All right. Cade, What's up?
13.
13 is correct. Cade with
Oh
the point.
wow!
Alright.
13 is
point
correct.
now.
About time I get on the board. Y'all make me
Now,
look bad.
here's another easy one. I have made trivia tonight too easy. What were the assassins / security guards for Connell Cochran? What were they?
Corky.
Cade.
Everybody came in at the
Brent.
same time.
Me.
So I heard Corky first.
That's because I said my name first, and the answer is Android.
Androids or robots? Yes.
Yes.
Corky with the point.
Write it down,
Okay.
Cade.
Here we go.
Gotcha.
Now, how close was everybody paying attention to the days of the week? Okay. What
A
day
lot, because
was
I
Halloween
knew you would ask his
on?
crap.
What day was Halloween on in the movie?
Cade.
Oh,
Cade, I heard Cade first.
Hey,
It should have been
to
Brent.
be fair,
Wait.
Brent did say it first.
Was it Brent?
It was
It
Brent.
was
All right.
Brent said it before me.
Okay, Brent, go. Sunday is correct. Brent with the point. Sunday. Man, I'm trying. Well, we got 6 of us on here. It's hard, man.
I reckon 3 times before he said his first.
Yeah,
We really should do
feel
the
my
Kahoot
pain
thing.
from Return to the Living Dead. Feel my pain. I know. I knew like 50% of everything before everybody else. I don't even want to start making fun of it. Okay, where was Connell Cochran's factory? What is the name of the
Okay.
town?
Brent, Santa Mira, California.
Santa Mira, California is correct. And Cade, I'm sorry, man. Y'all kind of come in at the same time.
Oh, it's all good,
This
brother.
is the first one I heard. Okay. Here we go. What time was curfew?
Bryson.
Brent,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Man, Brent all over it tonight.
Dang, boy.
Time.
Here we go. Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby. Oh, this is the one that everybody was waiting on. What hotel room number did Dr. Chalice Nelly have? Corky.
6.
6 is correct.
Yeah, boy.
All y'all listening out there, you're gonna hear it on the YouTube, and they're gonna be like, "Bryson got robbed. He's out here yelling his name."
I know, dang.
Man.
That dial-up internet.
Yeah, we
he can't hear it
really
even
gotta
read.
do the
Dude,
the app
I
that
can
was
only
talking
hear
about.
like I gotta
If
say
we-
who comes through my end first. You know, I'm
That's true.
sorry, guys. Okay, in this movie, who got killed with a drill?
Bryson.
Okay.
Bryson.
It was the woman doing the autopsy on the robot that set himself on fire.
That's correct. The woman at the coroner's office. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Another woman that
Whew.
Dr. Chalice has banged, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he acted like it.
Her
And that's
and the
it.
70-year-old
That's
member.
it.
He kissed
That's
him.
all my trivia for tonight.
All right, who took it, Kate?
Dude, I'm out here. I wrote
Brent
down what
won
the
with
gas
4
prices
points.
were.
Yeah.
I almost had that, Bryson.
Let's go. Hey, guys, I have a trivia.
What was it
I
like?
actually have
What
a
was
trivia.
it like? $2.29 or something?
It was $1.32 and $1.46.
Okay,
Dang.
okay. Because I was thinking, you know, that being in 1981, that's pretty expensive, I think.
Yeah.
But it
But
was
actually,
also in California. It was also in California, so it would have been higher. So it made sense.
I actually have a trivia question for you guys. I just have one.
All right, go.
What time did the commercial? What time did the Shamrock?
Daniel. Daniel.
I heard that.
Daniel.
First.
It's
Well,
9
say
o'clock. 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Yep.
I even wrote down what was the name of the bank in Santa Maria, because it's in the
Shamrock Bank?
background.
It's a Shamrock Bank.
It is Shamrock Savings.
Shamrock Savings.
Wow.
So I almost had the gas prices. and I almost had the name of the hotel.
I
The
did
name
have
of the
that one, the Rose Shannon or whatever. Yeah, Rose
Did
of
y'all
Shannon.
did y'all
Yeah,
see what kind
yeah.
of oil the mechanic had at the gas station?
I did. It's Pennzoil, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna see if anybody. I just like to
That
take a
Wow.
was
mental note of that.
that was almost another one. And
Hey, this
okay, so here's another one that almost made the list, but I couldn't confirm it. Okay, what was the name of the gas station attendant?
Ooh, I don't even know if I have
I
that
don't
in
know
That
my
I
what his
don't
name
cast.
was.
know.
It
Like in the
was
beginning of the movie. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it
he had
was.
his name tag. I couldn't read it though.
I couldn't either. It looked like William to me, but I couldn't read it, so I didn't ask it.
I tried. I said that would be a Daniel question, but hopefully he can't read it either.
Yeah, Daniel picks the one that people can't read.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
you can't even
We
see
can't
it,
even
but you
confirm it's his actual
slow
name,
it
but
down.
And he's like, "Oh, you don't have as good of internet as me, so of course you couldn't
yeah,
read it."
if you have my caliber internet, you could read it.
Yeah, you gotta have
Right.
Man, I'm not
4K, baby.
streaming this one. I'm not streaming this one. I actually own it on
Hey,
4K.
this
Yeah, I
was a
watched
really
this one on the DVD.
this was a really fun trivia, but I gotta say that question that you ended up saying Cade, I said my name 3 times. And then
Hey,
Cade comes
who
in.
actually won?
Brent won. He had 4 points. Corky came in second with 3. Bryson, you had 2, and then me and Chris tied for a point.
Well.
Well,
All right, Daniel, where
I,
we at in the
I
movie, buddy?
well, before we get back to that, I'm just wanting to say we need to get all the bugs worked out of what Cade's talking about.
Yeah, I can
Using
set
the
that. I can
app
set that
thing or
up for us
whatever.
this week if you guys would like.
Yeah, we need to use
100%.
Kahoot because that would
We
be
need to
that'd be
try it.
fun.
We need to try it.
Yeah, yeah.
That gives
I'll get it
everybody
set
a
up this
chance
week.
to answer every question.
Yeah.
And that way the audience can get more participation into. So okay. We've made it up to the point to where Buddy and his family kind of pulled up in the Winnebago, just about hit the Dr. Chalice with the bike. You've got Marge that comes in. She's a small business owner. She ends up she's come to Santa Mira with a problem with her order. She said that that the factory got too big. They deal with too many big suppliers. The small guy kind of gets kicked around, and they get taken care of last. So she's in the hotel room, and she's got the mask, and she was talking about how her kid was throwing the mask up against the wall, and the silver shamrock insignia kind of come off. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she knocks it off of the dresser and goes to bed. She's reading a book, and then she notices it sitting in the floor. So she gets up, picks it up, and for whatever reason pulls out a hairpin and starts picking at the circuits of this thing.
Yeah.
And that causes one of the best I guess special effects of the movie, to where the blue ray of light kind of blows her face off.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
For
an
God's
awesome
sake.
scene, man.
Yeah,
The
it is an
Celtic
awesome
energy
scene. Now,
beam.
that is right. To
Somebody
make
put it.
things even better, as a bee is coming out of her mouth, Dr. Chalice is going for number 3. And
That's
Dr.
right,
Chalice is on
baby.
number 3 in a span of 5 hours. And he is 47 years old. A
He's got a constant
47-year-old
buzz.
man can go for thirds, okay, in a span of 5 hours with no meds. This guy's not using any meds.
I don't want to pass that scene up too quickly, because I do want to say that scene, as funny as I would love to talk about him going for thirds, this has to be one of the most graphic, maybe this may be the best this may be the best special effects in a Halloween movie so far, or maybe ever.
awesome.
Maybe
It was
because I
sick.
mean, she gets her mouth blown off to the point where her teeth are like all cracked and all. Like, that was a disturbing looking scene. I was not expecting that out of a Halloween season of the witch movie. Like,
They
that
keep
was
they
that was an intense
Yeah,
scene.
and like her arm was twitching
Like
too. It was
the bug coming
kinda
out of her
weird.
mouth.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 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 and that's the first time that you've seen a mask kill somebody, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is the first time you see the bugs crawl out. So at this point, as an audience member, you know, okay, something's definitely going on with the mask. And by this time, you've got uh Cochrane and his minions, they pull up, and this is the first time you kind of get a feeling that they're in on this because you hear Cochrane say it was a misfire or a misshot, something
Right.
like
A
that.
misfire. A misfire.
And so uh, this also happens to be the first time that you see the first and only butt of the movie, Kate. I'm sure you took a picture of it, but
I did
it's
pretty
it's
Yeah.
it's the doctor's butt as he jumps up and uh and goes to look at who's outside. This is after his third round,
Yeah, his,
so
like,
he's
10
probably
10-day, old pair of underwear he's putting back on,
You
pants.
ever wondered nobody wore underwear back in the day, man? They just be zipping up their corduroys, man, just straight raw dogging it, man.
You
Like
gotta
back
watch
in the
out,
day,
don't zip up the
mean,
wrong thing.
nobody
That's
wore
just how
underwear.
I just
that's how
lived
Dr.
dangerously
Chalice
then.
rolled.
but
That's
so
how
you see
Dr. Chalice rolled.
so you see Calhoun and his minions. They put a sheet over her real quick, and he
It's
says,
Calhoun. Did I hear you right? Did you say
You say
Calhoun?
Calhoun?
He got John C. Calhoun over there like, hello.
On the river.
"Yeah, I meant Cochrane. My bad." But you
Okay. All right.
see Cochrane and his minions put a sheet over her, and one of the things you notice is odd is the doctor's like, "Hey, where are you going to take her? I'm a doctor," and Cochrane says, "Oh, we're going to take her back to the factory." And so you already know Cochrane has eyes all over the city. He's pretty much like a dictator or cult leader of the city. And when a person gets brutally injured, like we know that she died, but he doesn't know at the time that she's dead, you're going to take her back to the factory. Like, you have better medical care at the factory than you do a hospital. So
Yeah, that was so
that's
weird.
when you start kind of telling for sure that Cochrane and the town and Silver Shamrock they're all kind of doing something with these masks, and it's not good. So this is where that next morning, if I'm not mistaken, the doctor and his
Mistress.
girlfriend, who are not even the girlfriend, just someone that he's known for a day, uh, that he's had sex with 3 times already. Uh,
And
they
he
go
doesn't even know how old she is. Let's just get that
he
out
do
there right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Yeah, he's not
the
noticed
third
yet.
time, he then, questions her age, but before then, doesn't think to ask. But yeah, so that morning, uh, they go to the factory, and that's where you get the tour of the factory. That's one of the scenes where you see the Michael Myers mask, and you've got this weird family um, that turns out to be kind of like pawns in Cochrane's game. So so what did you guys think about this scene with the factory and uh him being so open about showing all of the mask off? Um, what do you guys think about
Well,
this
I
scene?
think he knew he wasn't going to have to worry about anything else after Halloween night because he know he's about to kill everybody with them. So he doesn't
Yeah.
care to show everybody around. You get real Willy Wonka vibes from this part of the movie. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it was part of his sick humor because even at the
Yeah,
end, he said, "This is the greatest gag of all time."
yeah.
I think showing them almost everything, he even says misfired. Like, if I heard someone say that a mask misfired, I'm like, so does that mean that it just fires in general? Like, is it supposed to fire in general? Like, I don't know.
Right.
He's almost telling them what's going on without. outright
I'm
saying it.
thinking like
I think
Bryson.
they'd get a kick out of that.
I'm leaving. If I hear misfire,
Yeah.
I'm leaving, and I'm going to my kids who I don't love, and I'm taking their mask away.
Yeah. Well, in his defense, he does call Annie and tell them, "Hey, don't let them put their mask on." And she's basically like, "Screw you! They're going to wear whatever they want to wear."
Yeah,
He did his fatherly
it's
duty. He called once and said,
it was so
didn't tell her the
funny
whole story.
because his ex-wife
You
says, "You're
know, she's
probably
probably
drunk,"
thinking,
and he
"Oh, this
definitely
drunk
Yeah.
guy
was.
wants." Yeah, he wants the kids to wear the 50-cent masks. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Help his ego out, son.
She can smell the alcohol coming through the phone. He's like,
Yeah.
don't let the kids put on the mask.
Yeah, so
Sorry, kid.
fun
That's what you were
fact
saying
time.
too.
Did you guys know that the blood that the androids leak out was basically frozen orange juice?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, I
know
thought it
that.
was
That's pretty cool.
pumpkin or something like pumpkin.
I think they
No,
use like that
it's
orange juice in a can, you used to get back in the day.
concentrated.
Concentrated orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
So
when they were doing the tour
you
of
get to
the
the point where they take the family around and everybody gets a tour of the facility, right? And they're showing everybody how they make the masks and everything. That's where we kind of get a glimpse of the Michael Myers mask back there in the back. If you guys haven't seen that, go back and watch that scene. It's there. But long story short, he's basically using this family as a trial run. He puts them in a room and it's set up like a normal living room, and the little boy puts the pumpkin mask on, and the Silver Shamrock commercial comes on. And this, I always thought that his head turned into a pumpkin, but I'm not sure that's really what happened. Basically, it turned his brains into bugs and snakes, and then the snakes went and bit the parents and killed them. So that's this guy's plan, man. He's just wanting everybody that watches that commercial to die and become snakes and stuff like that, man. That's just twisted.
Well,
yeah, one thing I thought that was kind of unique about this too
Oh, sorry.
is we see an actual
Go ahead, Kate.
child.
Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, like we see an actual child get murdered in this scene. And what's interesting about that is when you watch Halloween 1 and 2, you see Michael Myers blatantly avoid children, it seems. It seems like, that's not something that
Yeah.
he's gonna do. Obviously in the fourth film that it's relative, but we see something like that happen. But I thought that was kind of unique because kind of changes the tone of this movie. You kind of think kind of campy, you might think it's kind of goofy. We see some weird deaths, but we see a child die here, albeit an annoying kid. I just thought that was kind of interesting that they did it in this movie like that.
Again,
brutally.
kind of like Willy Wonka, man. Willy Wonka was killing kids, back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once Chalice gets captured, the tone of the movie really shifts to a more serious note. And right before he gets captured, he breaks into the factory and he goes into that room. And that animatronic old woman sitting there sewing was super
Yeah.
creepy. I
That
had
was
to bring
creepy.
her up.
That was.
Yeah,
She was.
Did you guys hear what he said about her? They said that she was an old model made back in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were mechanical. There was, there were mechanical figures like that made where one of them would actually play chess
Really?
against people. This thing's several hundred years old, but they were all
Wow.
clockwork.
Wow. That's
pretty cool.
crazy. But they were basically pissed off that they destroyed one of their elderly models, I guess, and all that good stuff. But Daniel, where do we go after this? We're about to the end of the movie. So
we are. What I wanted to throw in, we kind of skipped over it. But what I wanted to throw in is I'm really big into movies to where it's like, okay, these characters are making certain decisions, and you start counting the number of times that if they would have just done the right thing, they would have lived. Okay. So what happened was that you've got Dr. Chalice and Ellie posted up in this hotel room. They go into the factory and they're asking questions, which raises kind of some red flags to some people. And Buddy and his family come in and actually Chalice and Ellie were on their way out of the main office. If they would have just left the main office, both of them could have went back to their car, drove away, and nobody would have followed them, and both of them would have lived. Okay?
Yep.
But no, they hang out. And so Buddy and his family, which were the pawns, Buddy and his family come in and Colonel Cochran comes in and he was like, you know, these guys have sold more masks than any other local supplier. You know, they get this award. I'm gonna reward them with a tour of the facility. And so, you know, Ellie and Dr. Chalice is just kind of hanging out at this point, and Buddy is like, hey, you know, why don't you bring these guys in? And Cochran, you can see on his face, is like, I don't want to do this. But he's like, you know, it's going to mess up my overall plan if I don't. So, yeah, you guys can come along. And so they end up going on the tour. So that's when he's talking to Buddy, and he was like, oh, yeah, he invented all of these jokes. He invented the fake toilet paper, rubber toilet paper, whatever it was. And at the end of the tour, they get to what he called the quality inspection or whatever it was. And they were like, oh, yeah, let's go into quality inspection. And he goes, oh, no, that's trade secrets.
Yeah, it was like the final
and
inspection.
So Buddy
area or
is
something.
going, what's up with the trade secrets? I want to know. No, you can't go in there. It's got chemicals, and we don't want to get the chemicals on you and all this. Meanwhile, Dr. Chalice and Ellie are actually about to walk back out to their car, again, scot-free. So now, okay, this is the second time that they could have walked away scot-free and not been pursued, no questions asked. But they don't. And what happens is Ellie walks out through the parking lot. She sees her dad's station wagon that's kind of in this bay, and Dr. Chalice walks up and he was like, some of these security guards that's standing here looks a whole lot like the guy that killed your dad.
Right.
She wigs out and runs up to the bay, which raises every red flag that there is. And now Colonel Cochran makes the decision, well, these two got to go. So then what happens is they leave the factory and they go back to their hotel room, and that is when Colonel Cochran sends all of the robots to go get them. Okay, so Ellie is captured. Chalice is on the run. They run him up into the factory. He's running around the factory until he's finally captured himself. And so then that's kind of where we're up to what Corky was talking about. It's Halloween morning, and Colonel Cochran takes Dr. Chalice into the room to where Stonehenge is sitting, and he's got all these TV, basically closed circuit television hooked up, and Buddy and his Buddy and his family roll up in this room, and that's where he actually shows Dr. Chalice the power that he is using and harnessing into the masks, and he shows him what his master plan is. So if you want to think about it, it's like a James Bond villain, to where the James Bond villain takes 15 minutes to explain his plan and how he's going to kill James Bond, and it allows James Bond time to escape. That's basically what happens. So he sends him to a room. I thought that it was really cool that he really goes into detail with explaining kind of the legend with the whole Samhain thing, and he gets into some religious aspects.
He's a warlock.
And Brent can probably talk more about that.
I mean, I won't get into the whole thing since we're at the end of the movie, and I know that generally this is where people are probably like, oh, this is a Halloween movie. This is the boring part. To me, this is the interesting part because he goes over the whole reason why he's doing this.
100%. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, he's doing this because he thinks that and in Western society, um, he feels like people they misunderstand what Halloween is. And so he wants people to pay. He's a warlock or a witch, he's a pagan. And so he doesn't like how Halloween's celebrated now. So he wants to go back to Samhain and sacrifice people, and he just wants chaos. Basically, he wants people to die so they can be punished for how they celebrate Halloween. And this, going to our scores, I mean, this really boosted up uh,
Symbolism.
the symbolism score, because this is your symbolism of the movie. That, I mean, it explains it all there. This is very symbolic of it's not like The Exorcist or anything, but I mean, it's symbolic in the way of he explains his whole plan, why he's doing it. I mean, it's really it's a deep concept for a Halloween movie, I thought. And I will say, after this, when you start seeing the trick-or-treaters, and guys, if you're watching on video, you can see Dad's poster in the back. That was from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm pretty sure from the movie. An iconic scene. It shows different cities as it starts getting later and later until you get to Phoenix, and you see the kids wearing the 3 masks of Silver Shamrock, and you know that, okay, they're pretty much screwed. And but yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes of the movie, was hearing why he's doing this, going back to Samhain, and he just wants chaos. And then yeah, you've got showing the trick-or-treaters. So at this point, basically, we're right at the end of the movie. You've got he escapes because actually Halloween comes on. The original Halloween movie with Michael Myers.
The music was so cool there.
He kicks the TV. Oh yeah, the music was really cool there. Bronson, you're muted. But yeah, the music was really cool. What were you saying, Bronson?
Well, just how cool it was that they took the music from the movie he's watching, but it was loud enough to be the music of the scene that the audience is watching, bringing it to this is technically part of the Halloween franchise. We're bringing that music back. We're bringing it all full circle into this being a continuous idea for a franchise that Carpenter had.
Right. And I know Carpenter didn't direct this movie, but this was straight. I mean, that scene had to be straight out of Carpenter's mind.
Yeah.
Because just connecting everything, that was great. And so, guys, if I leave anything out, just let me know or interrupt me. But as far as I can remember, he escapes from his chair. He runs out. He grabs his girlfriend. They run off. He sees. What were you saying, kid?
Sorry, Brent, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, sorry. He sees Cochran. He sees Cochran as they're doing their test run of the commercial. This is at like 8:00. He sees the test run. He kind of halfway stops them. Cochran explodes because of the thing from Stonehenge. That was a little bit confusing because I don't know if that's what he was wanting to happen or not. But yeah, he basically explodes, and a lot of the other robots explode. The doctor and his girlfriend run out of the building. You think that for the most part everything's okay, but you know that Cochran has to make it back to a phone to talk to the TV station, because that's really where it all comes down to. It's like a timer now. And so if you're going into Dad's James Bond symbolism, it's the bomb is going down, and you've got James Bond has to, it's like a high tension part of the movie. So he's trying to get to a phone to call the TV station to get the commercial cut. And this is when you find out that his girlfriend, and I wish we had more time to talk about it because I am confused about this scene. This is when you find out that his girlfriend was a robot. I don't know if she was a robot from the whole time, if she was only a robot after she got captured.
Yeah,
and I know, Dad, you're shaking your head, but after doing more research, it seems like It seems like people even that love this movie are confused by that. There's a possibility she could have been a robot the whole time.
You
But
gonna
anyway,
tell me that Dr. Chalice did it with a robot 3 times?
do you think he
With
would have cared?
No.
No, no, no.
This guy, if he could poke it, he was poking it, man. I don't think it, if he cared what
Yeah, he
kind
wouldn't
of.
have cared at all.
that makes sense.
I
That makes
did
sense.
research this a lot, and it's about split 50-50 to where people, that talk about this part of the movie, it could really go both ways. I mean, I don't really know much about it because I never paid. By this point in time, I've usually fell asleep in the movie and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a consensus as whether she was a robot the whole time, which would make sense of why she was so easy. But
Robot nipples?
who knows, man? Y'all may know more about that scene than me. I don't know.
Jason and Cade and Chris, you can chime in whenever you want.
Yeah, man.
But after Chalice, so you know how she was acting before she got captured. And so then after Chalice rescues her, she doesn't say a word. All she does is follow him at that point. So after he rescues her, she had already been changed into a robot. That's what did it for me, is the way that she was acting. She was nonverbal the whole time.
So you're thinking that
But-
when they captured her, they turned her into an android. That's your,
Yes,
your
I do.
take on it.
Yes, I do.
I think so, because you even see he shows where she is on a camera, and she's strapped to a table. For me, that's like an operating table, and they've already done it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can get on board with that.
My favorite part of that whole scene where she attacks him is after he gets her out of the car and knocks her head off. The arm that is still in the car attacks him. That is the
That's right.
funniest thing. And he
That's
and
right.
is just choking him out. That is hilarious.
And it's like he's got a hold of somebody's actual arm that he can't get away from.
Yeah.
Like you're holding an arm. You're holding an arm. All you have to do is throw the arm away. Just throw it away.
So see, I agree with you guys. I'm pretty sure that it made sense to me that she gets turned into a robot after meeting with Cochrane, but just throwing it out there, it did not explain that in the movie. And apparently it's a debate between, it's kind of 50-50, like Corky said. She could have been a robot the whole time. And if anyone could have had sex with a robot and not known it or not cared, the doctor is the guy that would do that.
Hey, look, people are having sex with robots now. You know what I'm saying? So why couldn't they have done it in 1982?
They were just ahead of the game.
I think the good doctor would, if he'd known, would probably, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, he'd have been like, yeah, I'm good with it. I ain't got to worry about having another kid with this one. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he was so drunk all the time, he wouldn't have been able to tell.
No,
he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared if he was sober. But I think the real debate is when he gets to the gas station at the very end of the movie. He gets 2 out of the 3 TV stations to cut the commercial. But the movie cuts with him yelling, "Stop it," to cut the 3rd TV commercial. So I think that the real debate is, did he or did he not succeed in saving Halloween? We could basically make this into...
I want to say this before we talk about that. Apparently, when this movie came out, that was a very controversial ending, and apparently people hated it. What I will say is, I thought that was the coolest ending. The way that he screams, "Stop! Stop!" And I'll let everyone else give their opinion first. But I'll let everyone else give their opinion first, and then I'll say my piece.
Okay.
I don't think he was successful.
No.
Because
I think they shot that commercial out.
Because they showed the test room where the one kid of the family that won the tour and everything, when the commercial pops up, it's got the full jack-o'-lantern and it's doing the pulsing sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
That was playing as he's screaming no.
Yeah.
So I think at that point it would have been too late. The chips
Too
would have
late. Too
been
late.
activated.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's exactly my thoughts too, Bryson. And as he's screaming no, and he even, it had to have been on purpose by the director. He looks right at the camera, like if you guys remember our Shining episode, and I say, hey, when Jack Torrance looks at the camera a couple times for the movie, that actually makes it scarier. I wholeheartedly agree with this movie. He looks at the last scene, he looks you, the audience member, right in the eye and is screaming no, because he's telling you as an audience member, we're screwed. And yeah, the music had been going on way too long because the jack-o'-lantern had already been flashing. So the kids they were already dead and turning into the snakes and stuff. But yeah, awesome ending to that movie. I don't know why anyone would not like the ending of that movie. I thought it was so cool.
Well, that's a classic. That's a classic throwback to the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Did that at the end, kind of, and the Things from Another World, which was in the original Halloween. They did that at the end. Always watch the skies. So it was kind of a fourth wall break to the audience. Pretty much saying, there's, we screwed up. And
I think that's the second time that the movie makes the audience feel like the movie is in our real universe. Because when you see Halloween on TV and there's a commercial, Michael Myers, that makes it seem like, oh, okay, like that was just a movie that, I watched that movie. These people are going to go to the movie theater and watch that movie. And then at the end, when he stares at the camera, it really makes you feel like you're a part of what's happening.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree. Cade, everybody else seems to think that Chalice failed in getting all of the TV stations cut off. Are you in agreement, or do you think that he somehow succeeded? What do you think?
I'm in agreement with you guys. I was doing some research on this, and I thought I had seen where in the novel for this movie they actually confirmed that he did indeed fail. But just from the movie's perspective, I really enjoyed it a lot. Like the open-ended ending, it reminded me of how I felt after watching the first Halloween film. Because you're left wondering, why did Michael Myers just snap? Why did he murder his sister? Why is he attacking all these people? You don't understand what's going on. And so at the end of this movie, you're like, what happened? Did we just have like the highest kill count in any Halloween film? Because if that's the case, then thousands of children just got murdered in this movie, which this arguably is probably the darkest Halloween film if you think about it in that sense, because of the thousands of kids that just died. So I enjoyed it just like all you guys have said, and I agree. I did think that he failed with his attempt to save everybody.
That is an awesome way to look at it. I had never thought about it in terms of the kill count, and we talk about kill counts on this show a lot whenever we do movies. And if he did in fact fail, that would make this at pretty much the highest kill count of any of the movies following in this franchise
of any movie period, really, other than the apocalypse movies.
You got to assume how many millions of kids bought those masks. I mean, it's
well, it's not going to kill me because my mom and dad wouldn't have forked out the money to pay.
I've been running around with them dollar store masks,
That's right. I've been running around with them 50-cent masks, cutting my eyelids, and I can't breathe in them. That's what I'm wearing. You know.
Could you imagine a kid having a friend and they're like doing trick or treating together and stuff? They run home to go watch this movie. One kid didn't get the shamrock masks, but his buddy did, and all of a sudden his head starts turning into bugs.
Yeah, that would be
and then that kid gets bit by a poisonous snake.
Yeah. Like it's just chaos everywhere.
If my buddy starts acting like his head is being eaten and then I start seeing snakes and bugs crawl out of his eye sockets. I'm not staying at his house. I'm like, hey man, I got a jet, man. My mama just called, like
Yeah, I'm
I gotta
sick.
go.
I got to go home.
Yeah, I'm
What-
sick. I gotta go.
Oh
yeah,
man.
my parents would have said, see what happens when you buy that high dollar stuff? You're good with it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, cool.
That's the end of the movie. Let's go ahead and rank this bad boy. Brent, I'm gonna start with you tonight.
All right. Well, so I gave this movie an 8.2 out of 10. So round that down to 8. I'll say this really quick. I loved the movie. It was a breath of fresh air. And I know you guys, if you're constant or regular viewers of our show, you remember me saying last episode that Halloween 4 was my favorite of the Halloween movies we'd reviewed so far. And so what I'm about to say now is going to sound hypocritical, but I wish that John Carpenter would have gotten his way and we could have seen what he could have came up with as far as an anthology, and if we could have built on this movie instead of having the whole Cult of Thorn and all the weird Michael Myers stuff, there's got like 4 timelines and all this. Instead of all of that, Michael Myers and Jamie dies in part 2 and Dr. Loomis, and you get kind of, little tidbits here of theories of, oh, maybe this is how Michael Myers started. Maybe kind of like with The Mask here, and then maybe the next movie has some more tidbits into a Silver Shamrock. If he can make a world out of this Halloween franchise, I would have loved to see what he could have came up with. So I still like
I
part
agree with you.
4. I still like part 4 better as far as a movie. It was more entertaining to me, a look barely. But this movie was great. Like I said, breath of fresh air. I wish that John Carpenter would have got his way. I think everyone here agrees that he's a genius, with what he's been able to accomplish through his career.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so I wish that he would have gotten his way. But 8 out of 10 for me. It was a great movie, and I'm really happy I got to review this on the podcast. A great movie before Halloween. We're recording this on October 30th, so a great movie to review the day before Halloween.
All right, man. Brent gives it an 8. Bryson, what you gonna give it, buddy?
I gave it technically an 8.6 out of 10, so that rounds up to a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. It might be a hot take, but it might be my favorite movie of the Halloween franchise, even though Michael Myers is only on a commercial. But I love all the memorable characters. I love the scenes, like the settings. That town is so eerie with the whole Big Brother aspect of it. Cochran is just such an evil dude, but he's smiling like the whole time. And especially when you get to the end and you see how evil this guy actually is, it really shifts that tone of the movie at the end. The special effects were awesome. All those kill scenes were super unique, stuff that I hadn't seen in other movies. It's not just a hatchet to the face or a butcher knife in the chest or a cut throat. It was some really cool, well thought out kill scenes. It did have some symbolism in there. The score was awesome. So yeah, I had to give it a 9 out of 10. I love this movie.
Awesome. So we got an 8 and we got a 9. Cade, where you at, buddy?
Yeah, I'm completely in agreement with what Bryson said there, and we actually have the same score for this film. I'm at a 9 out of 10 for this. I gave the first
nice.
Halloween, the first 2 Halloween films, I gave them both 10 out of 10s. Halloween Part 4, I believe I gave an 8. And, this is just not Michael Myers, slowly walking around Haddonfield. I mean, this is something unique. It's got great kills. It's got some good humor in it, with a completely open-ended ending that just leaves you shell-shocked as to the fact that millions of children just got killed. I can't get by that, the fact that it did that. So, this may be my favorite film in the Halloween franchise if I think about it
dang.
long enough. So I'm at a 9 out of 10 with this one, guys.
9. So we got 2 9s and an 8. Daniel, where you gonna fall at?
Well, I'm gonna push it back on an 8. The thing that really held that back for me was the cultural significance. Even though this was an early 80s movie, it didn't really do a whole lot for the genre itself, and it didn't really do a whole lot for the Halloween franchise. Now, I will give kudos to John Carpenter for coming up with this, and I agree with what Brent Cade's saying in the fact that this is a great installment to the franchise, and I would really like to see what Carpenter could have done if they would have made the Halloween name an actual franchise. But unfortunately, what happened was John Carpenter had the rights to do one movie. He did the movie. Actually, he had the rights to do two movies. The first movie was The Fog, that starred Jamie Lee Curtis and Charles Cyphers. Jamie Lee Curtis was Laurie Strode, and Charles Cyphers was actually Sheriff Brackett. He came out with The Fog in the year prior, I think, in 81. This movie came out in 82. This was his second movie that he produced. His buddy Tommy Lee Wallace actually directed the movie, and it had a lot of the his buddies that was involved. Deborah Hill was one of the producers as well. But the thing about this is that John Carpenter knew that if he put the Halloween name on it, that it was going to put butts in seats and it was going to make money. And what happened is that a lot of people went to go see this expecting to see Michael Myers. And back then in 1982, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have the same kind of publicity to give movies as what we have now. So a lot of people actually went into the theater not knowing what this movie was going to be. They expected to see Michael Myers. They didn't see Michael Myers. And then for decades, and I mean decades, I was one of them, hated this movie. And it was because Michael Myers wasn't in it. And I think that this movie ended up turning into more of a cash grab for John Carpenter and for, some of the other people that were involved. If you would have just called this movie Season of the Witch, it would have been an excellent Halloween movie.
Mhm.
But because you added the name, the umbrella of Halloween 3, making it a third installment to Halloween 1 and 2, which was centered very much on Michael Myers, that created a fan backlash. And that was, I feel like it was a cash grab on Carpenter's part, but it backfired on him. And so it kind of killed anything that we would have seen moving forward. All of that being said, it hurt the cultural significance on my part. But this, I was talking to Corky and Chris, before we started the show. For me, this is just a really fun movie to watch around the Halloween time. I've probably seen this movie already 3 times this year. And we watched it for this podcast on Sunday. I got my trivia questions, and it's just a fun movie to watch. And because it's such a fun movie to watch, we're going to go watch it at the theater tomorrow.
Oh,
I
cool.
love this movie. Yes, 100%. I love this movie. It's not a Michael Myers movie, but I still love this movie, and for a long time I didn't. And that was why, is because of the way that it was marketed back in the early 80s when it first came out. So for me, it gets a solid 8, and I know that I was long-winded. I'm sorry. It gets a
All
solid
right.
8 for me, and 100% it deserves it.
All right. All right, Chris, you're up, man. What do you give?
Well, you guys are going to hate me.
I'm not going to hate you. I'm going to agree with you.
I knew it was coming, Chris. I knew.
No, now after listening to you guys, my opinion on it has gone up. I was going to get like a -10, but
Oh, come on, Chris.
dang,
He's got to take a drink first, guys. He's got to take
Yeah.
a drink first.
But no, I'll give it about a 5. I am a connoisseur of bad movies. Love bad movies, and this one, wow, it was a bad movie. Now there were parts in it that were funny, and things in it that are funny. But I just, whether it had Michael Myers in it or not, I do agree that if they had just said this is Season of the Witch, and I think it would have, it would have been a higher thing in higher in my opinion. But they kind of threw it in that, and it is an oddball in all the Halloween movies. And but if they had made the mask do something to the children besides turn their heads into cockroaches and snakes.
Yeah, where'd they come up with that crap at, man? God.
Well, I think there's an afterthought, but now, that I didn't see it, I'm going to have to go back and watch it again now so I can see the Michael Myers mask. If they could
Yeah.
throw that in there and that, a bunch of little kids running around in a Michael Myers mask, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just think about all of them watching that commercial and then all of them just slowly turning to their parents.
Oh,
And,
that would have
Yeah.
been cool, bro.
That
Yeah.
would have been pretty cool.
Then
Yeah.
goes off. So then that could be the end of the movie. They just all slowly turn around.
Oh,
Well,
where do we send this script to? Is who I'm saying. God, that
That's
would've been
right.
cool.
I mean,
That's a
this
good
one
idea.
can be remade. It can be remade. Heck, they're
Yeah.
remaking other stuff.
Where's Rob Zombie when you need him?
Yeah. The Doctor was pure 80s macho.
Yeah, he was.
And the worst dad in history, I think. But sorry, sweetheart, I can't come over and see the kids. I have to go to this wink, wink, wink doctor's,
Yeah.
convention, wink, wink, and then go off with this chick that he barely knows. But, the practical effects were really good in it. And also, Cochrane didn't die. He just was transported further on in the 80s, and he became the head of OCP in Detroit. He was just as evil there, and smiling all the time. So yeah, but it's one of those that if it's on, I'm probably going to sit down and watch it just because I love bad movies, and I'll my wife can attest to the fact that I've made her watch some real stinkers, and so yeah. But 5 is about as high as I'm going on this one. Sorry.
Nah, no worries. Okay, my turn real quick. I'm going to give it a 5 also. I used to love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I still love the movie. I love awesomely bad movies, man. That's a hobby of mine. I sit around and try to find some of the best bad movies you can ever come across. But this movie, it's a 5. It is what it is, man. It wasn't great, but it had some funny stuff in it. Dr. Chalice made the movie for me. If this guy wasn't in the movie, it wouldn't even got a 5 from me, man. But the best thing about this movie was the score. Anytime you hear Silver Shamrock, it's stuck in your head for days. Love that part of the movie. Yeah. Love the concept of the movie. Yeah, man, it's just cheesy 80s movies. I don't expect nothing else from it, man. I don't hate the movie, but it is what it is. I give it a 5. So, Kay, what's that put it up to, buddy?
Yeah. So our average is a 7 out of 10 after everybody's scores are taken into consideration.
All right. I think that's solid, man. Halloween 3 gets a 7 out of 10 from the Remember That crew and Chris from Nevermore Hollows. Chris, before we get out of here, buddy, tell us where we can find Nevermore Hollows at.
You can find us anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple. Check us out. And like I said, leave us a review. And if you like us, that's fine. If you don't like us, tell us because we want to know.
All right, man. Chris, we appreciate you joining us tonight to talk about this cinema gold that we just discussed. And shoot, we'll do it again. Yeah, we'll do it again one of these days, man. We appreciate it. Having said that, from the Remember That crew, we appreciate everybody. We'll see you guys next week. See you, bye.
See you, bye.
Yo, we rolling deep, let's dive into the fright. Hit that play button, we review every bite. From horror flicks that give you chills at night to games that thrill, yeah, we get it right. Remember that, step back, hold tight. We'll dissect every scare, keep the vibe right. Remember that, we're here to expose the thrills, the chills where the dark wind blows. From pixels on screens to the sound that glows. Join us forever, that's how the story goes. Now let's talk beats, we break down the sound. From underground hits to the mainstream crown. Music that moves, lifts you off the ground. Tune into our rhythm, let the passion rebound. Let's reminisce, before we fight. From underground hits to the mainstream crown. Let's reminisce, every song, every fight. We'll vibe through the shadows, shining our light. Remember that, we're here to expose the thrills, the chills where the dark wind blows. From pixels on screens to the sound that glows. Join us forever, that's how the story goes. So plug in, we're on this ride tonight. Remember that, keeping horror in sight.